Hello, this is Three Things with Ian. It is February 7th, is episode 37. I'm a bit of a time bandit. I'm not going to reveal when I'm recording this, but I had to write down the date that I had to tell you, so we're all on the same timeline. Anyway, let's jump into this. First, though, I should say welcome. It's good to see you guys, and happy to be back, and let's just dive in. So, I have three things today. I always have three things. My first thing is I want to share with. Sometimes I feel like I am the kind of arbiter of good media, and I feel like it's my honor, it's my duty to make sure you don't miss things because there is so much. There's so much stuff. I don't want you to miss anything. So I want you to listen to this episode, and I want you to watch this program. So this is a cartoon released a number of years ago. 10 episodes called Over the Garden Wall. All right, so I'm going to pause. Quick Google. All right, you're with me. This is, and there's the cat. This is one of the most interesting, thought-provoking, and enjoyable cartoons I've seen in my adult life. I feel like it's well-known, but also not well-known. It's kind of like a mini-series. It's not clear to me that this was meant to be like a serialized program. There's 10 episodes. The plot of the show revolves around two half-brothers named Wirt and Greg. They get lost in a forest known as the Unknown. The show is really interesting because it doesn't focus on exactly why they've gotten there or sort of like a lot of the backstory. That's revealed slowly through the episodes. They travel through the unknown and try to find their way back home, right? It's a story. It's a story about the journey. However, the boys encounter many supernatural, honestly like PG horror kind of elements. Sort of Lovecraftian, just strange, right? And they find themselves in a bigger situation than they ultimately first imagined. It's up to them to save themselves from the so-called beast that is threatening their relationship and is threatening the woods as a whole. This packs a bunch of stuff in. It's a supernatural tale. It's a coming of age. It's how we deal with other people. It's heavily influenced by European folklore. It has a very grim brother aesthetic. It's eerie. It's not horror. It's horror adjacent. Obviously, this is a cartoon. Elijah Wood is one of the two main characters. So that's the plot. Aesthetically, though, this is like a really beautiful show. There's all the backgrounds are sort of like interesting watercolors. For some reason, I'm thinking of also a video game. It's escaping me right now, but the way that this is kind of drawn up is very reminiscent of a lot of different other timepieces. Beautiful music. The characters are incredibly unique. Everybody's super different. You have characters who look like they're pulled right out of like a Lovecraftian horror movie. There are characters that just look comical. One of the two main characters has a weird coat and like a weird triangular hat that's never really explained. It's just mushing and melding all these things going on. And at the core of this program is the relationship between these two brothers. There's really weird humor that just doesn't you think it wouldn't make sense or work, but it does. It's super endearing, super charming. You don't know what's happening, but you just can't look away. And you feel like the doom and gloom of it's kind of a dark story. Obviously, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, although it's been out for a long time. There's a lot of cool mind-bending riddles. Okay, so the video game that I was thinking about is called Cuphead. And some of that sort of like 1920s vaudevillian kind of like kookiness kind of makes their way into this. I think this program is interesting for a lot of reasons, but I also think it's such a combination of so many things that on the surface are inherently contradictory. There's really weird humor. The dialogue sometimes seems very stilted and out of place, but it all forms to this really cohesive, amazing story. I watched it once and was like, this is amazing, and I've watched it a couple times since. For a while, it was kind of in one of those like streaming abysses where you couldn't really get it. It is now streaming, I think, on Disney Plus and Hulu. So Over the Garden Wall is kind of one of those things that I would feel like I'm not a good person if I didn't share with you that this needs to be part of your life. Okay, my second thing. Sparkling water, seltzer, big part of my life. Winter sangria. This is like candied nectarines. It's really pleasant. I know there are 1,001 flavors of seltzer water and sparkling water, and there's also a number of different competing varieties, different brands. Trader Joe's is solid. It's no LaCroix, but it's darn tootin' good. Winter sangria is got some nectarines, some cranberries. It's got some sweet notes, some sugared things. Very good stuff. Recommend it. 2 stars. Well, 2 stars out of 2 stars. Weird scale, I know. My third thing is I want to briefly just tell you, not up for debate. I'm going to talk about musicals. I'm going to tell you the top 10. This is kind of a placeholder for a deeper dive. We're going to start with 10, and then we're going to just leave it at that, and we're going to delve in more. So, I love listicles. Hate that word, but love lists. My top 10 musicals, Broadway shows, no particular order. Wicked, Hamilton, Book of Mormon, Moulin Rouge, just bear with me, Fiddler on the Roof, Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera, Rent, West Side Story, Cats. Those are my 10. For me, that's like, I guess I would say it's impeachable, indisputable, unimpeachable, can't be beat. My next 4 that I want to tiptoe around, that I will I will talk about them in some capacity. They're not going to break into my top 10. Guys and Dolls, Evita, mostly because there's like 2 songs that are just freaking amazing. Into the Woods and Chorus Line. Those are my next 4 up. I tried to get to 15, but honestly, like the rest of them, I'm like, yeah, cool, but I couldn't get there. So we're gonna do more with this list because I'm not gonna just leave you hanging with these top 10 and these next 4 up. You're gonna be hopefully when I gave you those 10, you kind of like, oh yeah, cool. I thought of a song, heard a song, kind of just went through your head, right? Earworm style. But anyway, those are my top 10 Broadway musicals. I'd love to hear your list. I'm hoping there's some musical people out there that can talk to me. Over the Garden Wall. Stop what you're doing, watch this. You won't be disappointed. This will change you in some capacity. Hopefully for the better. Seltzer, Trader Joe's Sparkling Water, Winter Sangria is a very solid pick in a very crowded field. And then those are my top 10 Broadway shows. More to come. This has been 3 Things with Ian. Tell a friend, share, be good to yourself, be kind to yourself. I will see you all tomorrow.